Wednesday evening, this is a bit
more
sad,
serious,
obviously, yeah. Wednesday evening, a gunman killed 4 people and wounded several others at a Tulsa medical office before reportedly taking his own life.
Tulsa police say the gunman burst onto the second floor of a building next to St. Francis Hospital and began firing.
Oh my God, he's getting his rifle out of his trunk. They're all getting their rifles, and it's in a medical building. They're running in.
Police arrived on scene 3 minutes after the first 911 call and made their way inside.
The officers that did arrive were hearing shots in the building, and that's what directed them to the second floor.
Police say as they were breaching the door on the second floor, they heard the shooting stop. They then found the suspect who they say had killed himself.
We have confirmed he had one long gun, a rifle, and one handgun on the scene at the time.
Too bad he didn't do that first. Remember this clip. We'll come back to it in a moment.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad they actually went. Oh, geez.
What is happening?
Is the
It's cleaning. Babushka, come on. We said not now.
The hot Russian
Just,
cleaning ladies here.
No.
It's okay. No. The desk is fine. Desk is fine.
Better
Leave.
not have her here too long, or Arnold will try and bang her.
Come on.
Yes,
Come
her
on.
legs go all the way up.
Oh,
Yes.
Just would you
They
please?
go for days.
Every time,
We'll have
Babushka.
normal-sized kids with a giant Arnold face.
That is tall glass of cool E. coli water.
Oh, dear.
She's just swatting
Swatting a fly.
There are no flies.
Go.
The flies are around you, Babushka.
Please, come on, go
You
on.
bring the flies.
See you later, beautiful.
That's a huge
Hasn't stopped being funny in 23 years.
Every single time.
That's still a good one.
I just want to point out that the officers there heard gunfire and went in.
That's right.
Oh,
Just saying.
they didn't follow the protocol of looking at TikTok?
Right. Waiting around for a little while because there was a huge japussy on the scene.
I am very
directing
grateful
them
that
not
they are,
to go in.
Yes, I am grateful that they are not pussies.
Yes.
That is it is a rarity, it seems, among some police officers today.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems if you get 19 of them together, the best thing to do is nothing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I just wait for the shooting to stop.
Yes. But one of them has a mean Uno streak in the parking lot.
Yes, that's right. That's important.
Playing quarters.
Yeah, there are still many questions, but according to police captain Richard Molenberg, this wasn't a random act of violence. This was an individual who just decided he wanted to go find a hospital full of random people.
This was not an individual.
That's what I meant to say.
That's right. That's okay.
Somebody
This is a quote.
I saw, yes. He deliberately made a choice to come here, and his actions were deliberate.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, that was his MO.
Yeah, they didn't think that this was a random shooting. And by the way, this was a medical facility across the street from the hospital. I know initial reports were that this was at a hospital. That's very close. And I'm not making a distinction for any other reason than to give you an accurate assessment of where this happened, right? And most of the time, a lot of times hospitals, people can carry guns, but most of the time, Texas, Nebraska, I know are states that outlaw you from carrying a gun in a hospital. Most of the time you don't see that, right? You don't see armed employees. In fact, so much so that my wife actually led a program on training to make sure if you had an active shooter in a hospital that you knew what to do in case that happened, because it's a constant threat in some of these environments where you've got some belligerent people, gang members coming in that are being shot or in the emergency department, stuff like that. So,
Of course, yeah, because then you have other gang members coming
Yes.
and chasing after them and stuff. Yeah, they used
so
to
you
happen.
could easily end up with some
Or it does
angry
happen.
family members or gang violence or anything else. So
Yeah, exact details on the shooter aren't available right now,
Yeah.
but according to the New York Times deputy chief, Eric DeGleish, said he was between 35 and 40 years old.
is that all we know?
I was going to say, is that all we know? It seems that we should know quite a bit more than this.
You'd think so, right?
Do we
But-
not know more?
Well, remember we just showed you the CBS New York clip of Deputy DeGleish saying this.
We have confirmed he had one long gun, a rifle, and one handgun on the scene at the time.
There's actually more video of DeGleish from the same press conference, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they didn't show.
No, they
but
didn't
we
show
will.
it.
Oh, let's show.
The suspect, we do not have an identity. That we believe we're getting close on the identity of the suspect. He is a black male, estimated to be 35 to 40 years old.
Now, I don't want to speak out of turn. Do you see what I see? Do you notice any discrepancies here, Mr. Land Putin?
Something seems off, but I can't quite put my poison tip umbrella on it.
This is very interesting.
I'm not...
I'm not sure. It's a one-off. It's a one-off.
Sure
Let's look into the Washington
Seemed like
Post.
important information.
The Washington Post is reporting on the shooter. So let's go ahead, Gerald. Why don't you share that?
Authorities identified the gunman as a 35 to 40-year-old who fired both a rifle and a handgun. Interesting information.
Okay.
And that's the extent of the description they gave of the suspect.
Okay.
It's almost like Waukesha all over again.
I just want to make sure that all the opium has not gone to my brain.
Right.
Yeah, that's a fair.
I heard the police captain,
Yeah.
just to be clear, and this is not to say anything other than what he said.
Right.
The man was black.
Right, but they cut that out.
They did. And by the way, the information on the man's race was available at the time that they published. And we're not making it about race. They tend to make it about
Well,
race
you
and
give
then
police
omit.
description. You give description to
Yes.
KGB.
Yes.
You
Right.
say he's tall, he's short, he's blonde, he's black.
In Russia, that really narrows it down.
I
Yes,
think
it
it's
does.
easier, though, to look for somebody between 35 and 40 than to just narrow it down to somebody who race and 35 and 40.
Well,
you just stop every one of that.
I can see your point.
Yeah.
I can also see point that media is full of lying assholes. You've heard
Yes.
of Pravda? You in Washington Post are worse than Pravda.
Well, listen, don't give them too hard of a time. They actually don't go the entire article without mentioning race. Here, I've got a couple of other quotes for you.
Go ahead.
The Tulsa shooting happened the same day as funerals for some of the victims of the Texas shooting, which left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. Also that day, the white man accused of killing 10 people at a Buffalo grocery store on May 14th was indicted on 25 counts, including domestic terrorism and murder as a hate crime. So you've got 3 different shootings that were mentioned, and you have 1 mention of race. And the
Weird.
only mention of race was when it was...
Hey,
And this isn't the only time.
is American media racist? I don't know.
think it might be.
Is it racist? It seems to me like if you only single out one race of people to
Yes.
vilify. As people not too far from us at one point, they did it with the Jews. We just did it with the rich,
Yes.
and we starved more people. But seems to me that your media, which, by the way, of course, is working with your government, as you saw with Jen Psaki, they are racist. They are blaming white shooter as though it's relevant, but not mentioning shooter. I notice they do this too, even with active shooter.
Yes.
Where it
Yes.
might actually help save lives.
Right.
Like, hey, look out for a guy who is wearing Flavor Flav necklace and is on car with spinners.
Well, we feel in the States that it's best and safer to not mention the race and just let people die.
Unless it is done.
right?
And
That's a fair point.
unless he is white.
Just want to make sure I have that right.
Well, and for those of you out there who are saying, well, we know the motive of the Buffalo shooter was that he was a white supremacist or racist.
Well,
or
he
at least
was
we had
streaming
that,
it.
Right? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
streaming that. I understand that, but this is a pattern beyond that to all of these shootings
Yes.
that involve a white shooter, no matter what.
Oh, no,
And
the
it's
press just got
exclusion.
lucky-ducky that
Yeah,
time.
exactly. It's the exclusion every other time that it's somebody else. Oh, we blamed a vehicle, I think, in Waukesha. That's what it was. It was a vehicle.
Well, I have
away.
driven enough American cars.
The Ford Escape, very racist.
Well, it's like white dog except for car. Did
Yes.
you just say that? I hope I did not repeat.
It's Christine if she was inclined.
The Chevrolet Traverse is if you want to traverse into afterlife.
That's
These
correct,
cars
yes.
do not work very well. I will say this, as people who have experience running media,
Yes.
by that I mean to lie. You guys are better at it.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
guys are,
yeah.
it's not the lie that you hear because people say you're lying. It's the lies that you don't hear, where you don't hear that this shooter was black or this shooter was specifically doing it in the name of left-wing socialism, or the
Or
shooter
Allah.
yelled out Allahu Akbar.
Which is really hard to determine the motive at that point. Let's just be clear.
So you guys are better
everyone
than
says
Russia now. Because really everyone knows Pravda propaganda. Everyone know, but half of America you still don't know.
It's true. Well, we feel it's important to definitely get to the story before getting to the truth, and that's what makes America great.
I am tracking with you.
Well,
The journalistic integrity of not telling the truth.
Yes, indeed. Well, in an effort to sell more papers, WAPO actually ran a separate excerpt with the title, Shooting Comes 101 Years After Tulsa Race Massacre. And I'm not 100% sure that I see the connection, but people did take to Twitter saying, of course, this was white supremacy. And it was on the anniversary of the massacre, so it must be that, right? So
yes, absolutely.
I don't understand this. It's from Russia that people complain about United States white supremacy. Can someone explain to me? I think I have this. What is affirmative action is for white men, correct?
No,
That's
it's
incorrect.
actually for everyone else except white men.
No further questions.
well, and just to clarify,
I
a
have
point,
to throw up.
you judge on the basis of a person's skin color and not merit. And I know that's different than what you probably heard Martin Luther King say.
That's right.
But
You mean man who was killed by FBI?
Yes.
well, yeah, the very same.
When no one yelled duck, you didn't hear anybody say that either.
No,
That's right.
no.
I thought that you had a problem with ducks.
Yeah.
No,
No duck problems here.
I thought maybe someone was throwing bread.
Nope.
Going,
Nobody has
duck,
any trouble
duck.
here getting down or ducking.
Duck.
Well, look, we've got the three shootings and the narrative so far.
Well, there was actually a tweet that I did see. I forgot who it was, but it said, it was on the eve of the Tulsa shooting and this woman blaming white supremacy.
Yeah.
And everything was just like, you can delete this. You don't have to leave it up.
Twitter doesn't have an edit button.
I
Yet, but
don't
they do have a delete button.
Yeah, I don't understand how so many people tweet out something wrong and are like, well, I'm just going to leave it up
Going with
anyway.
it. Yep.
I'm going to stand by my complete bullshit.
Look how many responses it's gotten. It must be right.
I mean, look, it's well liked.
That's right. Unfortunately, there is no button on Twitter to delete self.
Yeah, I wish.
They're working on that, though. So just to be clear, we've got white supremacy in Buffalo, right? Because all white people are evil. Uvalde, we have guns are the cause of all evil. So you're seeing a trend here. And then now Tulsa, this one's is yet to be determined. And this is going to be a bit tricky for the media to spin. But I will say this. We did mention Twitter and people going to Twitter. Go right now and see if Tulsa is trending. I didn't see it trending at all this morning.
Yeah, it was for a moment yesterday, and then some new information got out and it stopped.
Well, it's weird how that tends to happen. But go and check and see right now at 10:46 Eastern time if it is
Comment
trending.
below, people. Comment below.
Comment.
Right now, what time is it? I have to look at
10:46 Eastern.
10:46. Comment right now. Is it trending? It was for a moment. It was in the heat of the moment.
If Rasputin
Telling me what your tweet meant.
he dies.
You are a great singer.
The tweet of the moment.
terrible.
Then you all die. Pravda.
You have voice of angel.
That's right.
By the way, I love this next part here. CNN says police describe the shooter's weapon as, quote, a semi-automatic rifle and a semi-automatic pistol, which is incredibly vague. But I love now that you're starting to see this phrase thrown in every single time they mention a gun and shooting, semi-automatic, as though that's a distinguishing feature that is going to say, the semi-automatic is worse than, say, a revolver, right?
Yeah.
Because most of your handguns, I know there's exceptions, most of your handguns are going to be semi-automatic, and a lot of the rifles, most of the rifles are going to be semi-automatic, and so it's like, we just need to ban semi-fully automatic, handgun rifles.
Yes.
Rasputin has questions.
Yes,
Yes,
Rasputin.
I have
Mr.
questions because I don't want to be rude.
Mr. Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Don't
You are
be-
Putin, I'm Rasputin.
I forget that I just have
It's
Putin in
okay.
my name. You have
I
start
have
with
both.
Raz.
I am your name plus prequel.
You're Raspberry and Putin.
Let me
Swish.
ask, just because, again, outside looking in. Okay?
Yes,
I
Mandy
could
Dancer?
be, I assume I am ignorant.
Okay.
Americans know that semi-automatic is just basic gun, right?
No, they don't.
No.
They don't know that semi-automatic is like all gun except for pump shotgun.
Listen, Rasputin, I just need to clarify, and I'm sorry to all our viewers out there, that he doesn't realize that is the scariest form of assault weapon. A semi-automatic rifle means that when you pull the trigger, you get one bullet, Stephen.
Yes, we call that training rifle.
Yeah. Well, here we call it
insensitive.
the most dangerous weapon.
That is because you are either stupid or pussies.
Yeah.
Misinformed.
Okay, we go with that.
Yeah.
Because of media, they do very good job. That people
do.
think, oh, no, semi-automatic. It's like all handguns ever. Oh.
Right, as opposed to fully automatic, which for some reason people don't understand.
I love the
It's not
fully
the same.
semi-automatic. So, do you remember that quote?
Yeah, fully semi-automatic
It's
is
a
a great
full
one.
semi-automatic.
Yeah, what does that even mean? It's the whole gun.
I don't know.
Yes,
I think that's what
We haven't sawed it off.
it's a 100% of 50%.
Well,
Well, that's just 50%.
Don't worry. Our former
It's
vice
Sex
president,
Panther of weapons.
Yes.
our former vice president said that 9mm is what was it a high velocity round or high? I can't remember what he
It'll
said.
blow your lungs
Blow
out of
your
body.
lung out.
Blow your
for
lungs
sure.
out,
Yeah.
yes.
Ah, yes. It rips your entire lung out of the body. We have them laying all over
Did he
the streets.
say that?
He did.
Yes.
Your former vice president
yesterday.
said that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
This is man who is standing between all of you and us?
Oops.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't tell him. Why did we tell him?
Oh, no. I mean, no, please, vote him again. We respect him and scared so much.
Vote. Oh, please.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.